So as you guys know, Saagar Enjeti and Krystal Ball have departed from The Hills Rising. They decided to go independent and start their own news show. I don't know what the structure of the show is going to be, if it's going to be similar to what happened on Rising. I don't even know if they're going to be allowed to do that due to any sort of like IP agreements or anything like that. I have no clue, to be honest. I didn't realize that the Rising show was going to continue on The Hill with just replaced hosts. So here are the new hosts. I thought we would look at the new hosts. You've got Ryan Grimm, who's a progressive, a Bernie Sanders-esque progressive on the left. And then you've got someone named Emily Jahshinsky, who is on the right. And so basically what this tells you is the idea of the Rising show from the beginning was this kind of show design where you have a left-wing person, a progressive. It seems like they're not going to have a host who's like a liberal, Hillary Clintonite or something like that, maybe because that's too boring. And this kind of adds like another dimension to it, which is interesting. And then on the right, it appears you have like a sort of weird, like far right person. And so maybe the idea was to have, like in their minds, a far left person and a far right person. Emily Jahshinsky, I think, is at like the Federalist or something. She's a conservative, I think a culture writer at the Federalist. And so it just appears that, that was the idea from the jump. That was the idea for the show. That was the design for the show. And now you're going to have replacement hosts. So far on this video that they posted, Ryan and Emily, Joe Biden calls out Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema. It's got 1.1k likes to 475 dislikes, which is actually pretty good, just as a like to dislike bar regardless, but also as in anytime you have replacement hosts for a show, usually the replacement hosts get dislike bombed because they're like, fuck you, we want the old host back. So that's another thing. Some of the thing is though, with the comments, a lot of the comments are positive, but I did just see a video from Secular Talk that alleged that they took down Krystal Ball and Saagar's final video on the channel, and they were like flickering with the comments and the likes and dislikes and stuff like that. So I don't know what, if they're probably deleting comments that are negative is probably what's going on here. They're probably manufacturing consent for this. I don't really think many people are gonna watch this show. The Hill is a decently sized, if not just straight up big platform. So I don't know how much of like the views they get are going to be from just people who are watching The Hill anyways. But these hosts, the way they sound kind of boring, kind of bizarre, to be honest with you. They're doing the same radar stuff, so it's all the same show. It's just two different hosts. So, again, I'm not really sure what's going to happen here. I don't think it's really going to be successful, but the thing is, there's already a big platform on The Hill, and so I don't know if they'll just get viewership just from being on The Hill alone. I think that's certainly a possibility, a heavy one at that, but I don't think it's really going to be successful. I don't think they'll really be able to build their own platform and their own fan base because these hosts just seem very, very boring. To me, Ryan Grimm is one of the journalist guys who's like on Twitter, and he has a picture. Like all journalists for some reason on Twitter have a picture of something random, like a bird or something like that. To me, that's what Ryan Grimm is. He's not a TV host. This is a bad, any kind of video host. I think it's a bad idea. He can be a good contributor where you bring him on to give you details about like inside of a campaign, but as a host, I don't know about all that. And the host on the right, I don't know, just doesn't, just the way that she sounds, just I don't know, it doesn't really seem very well. It seems kind of boring, but it'll be interesting to see. Let me know what you think about this. These are the new hosts of The Hills Rising, which, unbeknownst to me, is actually continuing in the same format. And this was the idea from the jump. Get somebody who in their minds is far left, somebody who's far right. They don't want to do the traditional liberal versus conservative thing, I think, where you have George Bush-ite versus Hillary Clinton-ite, but rather Bernie Sanders-ite versus Donald Trump-ite, okay? If that makes sense to you, hopefully it does. Interesting IP, but yeah, I don't know if this is going to work out.